The mainstream media is right back at it yet again, guys, and this time the culprit is none other than NFL.com themselves. They have an article ranking teams in the NFL by completeness, and the Chiefs don't come in number one on that list. That's fine. But I think where the Chiefs do come in on that list might surprise you at least a little bit. The article is titled The Top 10 Most Complete NFL Teams for 2025 Season, Bills, Eagles, Lions, Among Well-Rounded Squads from NFL.com by Eric Edholm. I have the article portion of this for the Kansas City Chiefs to present, and then I have a couple of big points to make on top. One of which you've heard me make on numerous occasions, but fret not, for I have a new comparison to make, or at least one that I don't think I've done quite so often. The article itself begins as such. There's no perfect way to rank the best rosters heading into the 2025 NFL season, but I felt it was imperative to go through all 32 teams, grade each position group, weigh those numbers based on positional importance, and see what numbers told me. The results surprised me at first. The Commanders, who were one game shy of the Super Bowl last season, didn't make my top 10. One thing very interesting about the Commanders, just like the Texans the season before, they are reminiscent of that 2018 Kansas City Chiefs team. That team would have ranked very low on positional breakdowns, etc., as well. Neither did the Rams, who nearly knocked off the champion Eagles in the playoffs. Also left on the cutting room floor, the Texans, Bengals, Chargers, and other talented squads that could be on the rise, including the Bears. Even while scaling quarterbacks is even while scaling quarterbacks far heavier than any other position, those teams all just missed the cut. Perhaps I put too much emphasis on defense for some folks' liking, but Super Bowl licks featured two top 5 scoring defenses served with as a reminder of just how important that side of the ball can be. With that in mind, here's my ranking of the 10 most complete teams top to bottom. Number 1, the Eagles. Okay, I get it. They won the Super Bowl. You have the right to name the Eagles the most complete team in the NFL. You have the right to name the Eagles the best team in the NFL. You have the right to name the Eagles your favorite to win the Super Bowl in the NFL. You can do all of that. I get it. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens. The complete portion of this study apparently includes, for example, interceptions as completions. So we have the Ravens, number 2. The Detroit Lions, number 3. Now, the Detroit Lions have a uphill battle every season, as evidenced by the fact that there's no water fountains in their practice facility because of that Detroit water. Number 4, Kansas City Chiefs, saying they continue to tinker with their wide receivers and offensive line. There will be new faces on defense too, but the core of the 2025 Chiefs resembles the team that has forged its way into playing in 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. They might be coming off of a lopsided loss in Super Bowl licks, but I don't expect them to undergo a precipitous decline. If you've been here a while, probably you know where it is I'm going. The article in question uses the phrase, the core of the 2025 Chiefs resembles the team that has forged its way to 5 of the previous 6 Super Bowls, and I just have to say how false that is. Why? Well, here's the starting lineup from Super Bowl Live to Super Bowl licks. On the offense for the Kansas City Chiefs, the only players to play in the previous Super Bowl, as well as the first Super Bowl, start in the previous Super Bowl, as well as the first Super Bowl for the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, obviously. Travis Kelce, obviously. Is that it on the offense? I think that might be it. Yeah. So McColl didn't start last season. So the Chiefs have two players on offense, and then on the defensive side of the ball, this on the right is the previous Super Bowl, the Super Bowl that they just played in. This is the first Super Bowl that they played, at least on this Patrick Mahomes run. The only name of overlap is Chris Jones on the defense. That is 3 total. But I know what you're saying. Here goes scrambling again, talking about a Super Bowl that took place 6 years ago and the one that we just saw. That is not an apt comparison. You can't compare those two rosters. That's too much time. There's an entire rookie. There's an entire rookie and a half contract expired. So a rookie contract is 4 years, 1.5 go rounds have expired. But I contend that, yeah, that's part of the point, that they're so far apart from the first Mahomes appearance to the previous, the most recent Mahomes appearance is so long that it almost doesn't make sense to compare the teams in general. But to the general public, those are the same Kansas City Chiefs. It's got the same logo on the side of the helmet. They've got the same red jerseys, etc., etc. So let's look then at Super Bowl Levee versus Super Bowl Licks. Levee, learning how to pronounce that from our dear friend Sua Mataya. Super Bowl Levee was the first time that the Chiefs played the Eagles, in the Super Bowl. Here's the offense. This is 2 seasons ago. The offense has 7 of the same names, but it means they've turned over 4 names starting on the offense. The same names are Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Isaiah Pacheco, and Patrick Mahomes. Now, I will appeal to your greater sensibilities. Over here on the right, the Super Bowl we just watched was Mr. Juju Smith-Schuster supposed to be starting? Did he start the season as a member of the Kansas City Chiefs? No, he did not. So I would contend that, yes, there are 7 names that overlap, but really it's about 6. On the defensive side of the ball, there are 6. Now, it's not listed here, but George Karlaftis started for this team and this team. Then we had Chris Jones here. Where is he? Here. Nick Bolton, Trent McDuffie, and where am I at here? Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, and Justin Reed. That is 6 names that overlap just from 2 seasons ago, meaning the defense has replaced 5 starters. Tershawn Wharton, who was already on the team, Leo Chanel, Drew Tranquill, Chamari Connor, and Brian Cook all started in this prior Super Bowl, who did not in the first appearance against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. This is wild stuff. And then we get this. But Kansas City's defense had carried a bigger chunk of the load in recent years. But with Super Bowl Licks blowout proving the unit requires reinforcements. 4 draft picks, including 3 on day 2, should help with the depth. Defensive tackle Chris Jones and cornerback Trent McDuffie are elite defenders, and the Chiefs also have a solid to strong playmakers throughout the defense. New cornerbacks Christian Fulton and Noel Williams should help. Now, I think that is a bit of a misnomer. Should help what? Because when everyone was healthy last year, that defensive backfield looked pretty good. Patrick Mahomes' production has slipped a bit from his absolute peak a few years ago. Who's to say that's his peak? But he remains one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the league entering his age 30 season. Age 34 quarterback is basically prime time. Back along his side is Travis Kelce, a better running back situation than the team had last season, with plenty of talent at wide receiver. Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Marquise Brown, and rookie Jalen Royals will all be weapons. The offensive line has undergone big changes, but it could be better in 2025. Well, here's Mahomes' career, and we're going to compare that just a little bit to the career of Joshua Giuseppe Allen. I have no idea what Josh Allen's real middle name is. Now, Josh Allen came into the league a year later than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes in that rookie season started just one game, completing 22 passes for 284 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. He looked like a decent quarterback, but he did not yet look like Patrick Mahomes. So we will see here in the totals, Patrick Mahomes with 112 games. Joshua Giuseppe Allen with 111 career games. That's how close we're talking here in terms of the games played. So they made the point that the 2024 season was down for Patrick Mahomes, and fair enough. Failed for the first time in his starting career to hit 4,000 yards, 39-28. Hit a 26 touchdown number and an 11 interception ratio. So 11-26, we'll call that ratio. Josh Allen has 1, 2, 3, for the third time in his career, failed to meet the 4,000 yard passing plateau. Had 6 interceptions on 28 touchdowns. That is a lot fewer interceptions, not many more touchdowns. And it's still not an elite touchdown to interception ratio. I mean, that's not crazy. Last season, 2023, Josh Allen threw 18 interceptions. Do you remember that? No one was talking about it. In 2022, Josh Allen threw 14 interceptions. Do you remember that? No one was talking about it. In 2021, Josh Allen threw 15 interceptions. Do you remember that? No one was talking about it. 84 career interceptions compared to 74 for Mahomes, who is supposed to be a gunslinger. 245 career touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes, 195 for Josh Allen. That is a perfect 50 touchdown split. 32,352 yards from Mahomes. 32,352 compared to 26,434. That is a 6,000 yard advantage to Patrick Mahomes. Make no mistake, he had a down year, but it was a down year for Patrick Mahomes. That's like picking up the collected works of Shakespeare and saying, I don't like this one. Yeah, maybe you don't, but it's still Shakespeare. The article finishes up this way. Some shakiness in the trenches keeps us from giving them an A across the board on the report card. But Mahomes was a handful of other elite players, combined with a solid middle of the roster talent, makes this crew a top 10 lock in my book. I can't read today, I apologize. Drop them after the Super Bowl blowout at your own risk. There's enough left in the tank for another run. Strikes me that portion of this article is absolutely correct. And it is an absolute testament to the front office of the Kansas City Chiefs and Brett Veach in particular for continuing to replenish the shelves. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on the channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.